You're watching Cable 2.
Hello everyone, I'm Chris Runge and you're in touch with Dr. Angela Hairston. Thank you for joining us for the first program, this first In Touch of 2020. And Dr. Hairston, it's hard to even say that, 2020.
I know. Happy New Year, by the way.
You too. I hope you had a good holiday and got rest. And
I don't know about the rest part, but yes, it was a great holiday.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Well, let's jump right into it. We are one step closer to having an equity policy in the school system. The Board of Education's Policy Committee recently voted to send the draft of the proposed policy to the full board, and they should take action on it pretty soon. Talk to us about the importance of an equity policy and what exactly is it?
So this has been a long time coming for our district, and the equity policy ensures that we maintain focus. We maintain a focus, or our agenda has to be on children having the things that they need to be successful. Not all children can reach success or access rigor in the classroom using the same tools. So it's a variation, it's attention to the variation of tools needed to be successful as a student. Not every student is made from the same mold, so we have to vary our direction and our behavior. We want every child to be successful, and so that might be looking at policy, classroom setup, materials, resources, programming in schools. But we want every child in our county to feel successful, and to get there, we have to vary what we do to support them.
And again, the board is going to take it up probably at their next meeting. So,
yes.
So we can talk more about it next time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. And speaking of the board, it may not sound too exciting, but we've started a new meeting schedule. Dr. Hairston proposed that. And Brent Campbell has a look at what this new meeting schedule means and how it will affect you.
Hello and welcome to the first WSFCS Fastcast of 2020. I'm Brent Campbell, Chief Communications Officer. Well, as we begin the new year, we have one big change in schedule for your Board of Education, and you need to know about it. At their last meeting in 2019, the Board of Education has voted to start an entirely new meeting schedule, and it will begin this month. The goal of the new schedule, according to the superintendent, is simple.
But the goal is to have everyone there and have improved communication, continue the committee process, but also to allow our community to know that there's a singular day that they can get to all of the committee meetings, participate, be a part of the process, and not really miss anything.
After a 7-2 vote on December 17th, the Board of Education approved a new meeting structure and meeting schedule beginning in 2020. The new schedule collapses all the committee meetings into one meeting. Before the change, committee meetings were held on different days at different times. Now, a committee work session on the second Tuesday of the month will encompass all standing committees. The fourth Tuesday of the month will now become the only regular board meeting of the month. That meeting time will remain the same, with closed session at 5:30 and open regular session at 6:30. While the regular meeting is always open to the public, the newly formatted work sessions will also be opened and in a new room, room 219 of the Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools Education Building, and they will start at 5 p.m.
It is still open to the public. I think the public will be able to, number one, participate because they'll have more information. They'll be able to hear the discussion. Everybody's there, and be in a larger room as well.
The first work session will be on January the 14th at 5 o'clock p.m. And under this new schedule, the first regular board meeting will be on January 28th at the normal time of 6:30 p.m. For a complete look at the entire new meeting schedule, just go to the Board of Education page on our website. That's all for this edition of Fastcast.
May not sound real exciting, but we've been a merged district for over 50 years now, and we've always done it the same way. So to us, it really is exciting. And you just had that first work session or the combination of the committee meetings. How'd that go?
It went very well. We are surveying board members and community members to get feedback. But we feel that having all board members at the committee meeting, which is really our work session, it's where we get our work done. And hearing discussion is important. When you look there, you see each board member has the opportunity to engage in conversation. We have microphones that have been installed so the folks in the audience can hear what's going on. It's being recorded, so we can have good minutes and record of the meeting items and discussion. But communication with an effective board is key. In fact, that's key to an effective board, is having good strategic goals and great communication. And I feel that having experiences in other communities where boards are working together, hear the entire conversation without someone having to relay the message is the most effective way. And we're going to see how this works out for us moving forward, and we'll make adjustments as we go through this process. But I walked away feeling great about the meeting, and I hope board members did as well, and I think they did. And not feeling like I needed to go back and call a board member who may not have been able to attend an early meeting, a meeting that was before 5 o'clock.
Sure.
To share information. And they all had an opportunity to weigh in on every agenda item, which is important. Opinions are important. Our board members certainly have valuable information to share on each item. And it was just a different feel.
Heard a lot of good compliments coming out of it. So we'll have another one in February.
February, exactly.
That's right. Well, there's a primary coming up in March when the Forsyth County Board of Commissioners are going to be asking voters in Forsyth County to approve a 1/4-cent sales tax. The money would be used for teacher supplements. What would that extra 1/4-cent sales tax do?
The 1/4-cent sales tax would allow us or enable us to pay our teachers an additional $2,000 to $3,000 in the local supplement. This will be huge for us. These dollars help us recruit, help us retain good teachers, reward our good teachers, and it places us in the top 5 districts across the state with the supplements relative to supplemental pay for teachers. Our teachers do such hard, they're just great. If you visit classes, you meet with teachers after school, during the school day relative to programs. They work so hard for our children. Quality instruction happens every time you have a quality teacher in the classroom leading that instruction. So we want to be able to have the best for our children. This 1/4-cent sales tax will enable us to give those additional dollars where they belong to our teachers. We are in the process of sharing information. It will also reduce some of the property tax that was levied last year in order to continue the supplements and increase the supplements by $750. So we look forward to sharing that information throughout the community. We look forward to our teachers being able to talk to us more about how that has impacted or will impact their willingness to stay with us.
The public may not realize that if you aren't a teacher or a certified employee or a classified employee in the school system, and they aren't being ignored. The board recently approved hiring a consultant company that would examine the salaries of classified employees. Has that work begun, and why is that study needed?
That work is nearly complete and will be complete in February. The work is needed because we have over 50 positions that are in the classified, what we call the classified category. Teacher pay and teachers are certified individuals teaching children. Classified employees range from mechanics to our awesome school nutrition staff, to our wonderful custodians, bus drivers, and the like. Over 50 positions fall in this category. And to make a blanket statement about pay raises relative to classified, would not be fair to those employees. So we enlisted the support of a consultant to look at each of the 50 categories of employees under the title of classified, to be sure that we were being fair in our recommendations for raises. That is a priority. Raises for our classified is certainly a priority for myself, and has been a priority for our Board of Education for some time now. So to do the right work and do right by our employees, we needed more information, and that's the purpose, and we'll be able to share much of that in February.
Okay, believe it or not, we are already talking about kindergarten enrollment.
Oh, yes.
You were part of a great meeting last week
Yes.
to talk about the rollout and some new plans, new changes
Yes.
this year. Vanessa Osborne, who is our transition coordinator, also spoke at the event. We're going to hear from her real quick, and then we'll hear from you on the backside.
You will see two different kinds of advertisement happening. So the flyer on the left is the general one, and it has my direct line on there for families to call if they see this just out and about. And the one on the right is an editable flyer. Of course, I have one for my sample from my former school for Easton here. So you can edit this with your mascot up there instead of the Easton Eagle, and then you can change, of course, the address, the name of your school, the address, and the telephone number you would like families to call if they want more information about this.
It looks like a really big deal this year.
Yes.
Kind of exciting, too.
Yes,
Talk to us
yes.
about it.
So Project Impact is a community donor organization supporting kindergarten enrollment, early kindergarten enrollment. We want our children to understand the expectations entering kindergarten. We want to emphasize the support necessary with early learning. Vanessa Osborne has been, over the last couple of years, going out and promoting early registration for enrollment. She corrected me, not registration, enrollment. For kindergarten. To do that, we needed some consistent time slots for parents to come in to really work with them on paperwork, preparing children to enter in the fall. To do so, we needed to have one day to capture early enrollment. After the enrollment period has ended, she will then go to the community and begin to work with families on, for those that missed. You know, some parents will miss the 20th, they'll forget about the date, they won't have the right paperwork, they'll just be totally unaware. Her job is to go out and really find those families to get them enrolled. We have so many students who could qualify for special services before the enrollment date, the first day of school. She will be out in the community, and we call them pop-up enrollment centers. Her job will go out and find children who have not yet enrolled after the 20th and get them enrolled and engaged in the school process. We also found that many parents were not aware of our magnet and choice application processes, and getting out there early affords them an opportunity to take part in this very valued experience. So I feel that Vanessa has done a great job pulling that together. We also are able to provide translators, support on getting those medical forms completed when we have that singular day. It really forces us to focus on that single day of enrollment and to say to parents, we want your children to select our school district and to be a part of our school district. But more than that, we want you to understand what kindergarten is all about. Kindergarten is quite different than it has been in past years. Lots of expectations academically. We want parents to know about that. So we hope our daycare centers, our Head Start centers, our pre-K centers, and church faith-based groups, anybody who has an experience or interaction with a young child who will turn 5 by that magical date there, will turn 5, we'll tell them, let's go enroll on February 20th. Let's be in an elementary school, let's get involved, and let's know what's expected of our children.
Because August will be here before you know it.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
If you want to see pictures of a superintendent having some fun, take a look at this. You recently got to be the pronouncer for the spelling bee at Easton Elementary, and you looked really happy. You were in your element there. How was
I
it?
don't know. They told me you were the best, so
No,
I
no,
was
no,
really
no.
trying. That those babies were just wonderful. I was a little nervous myself. I certainly did not want to be the reason a student failed to spell a word correctly. So I was a little nervous, but it was a lot of fun, lots of engagement. But again, I hear you're the best, so I'm trying to be like you when I grow up.
We'll find out on February 14th, won't we?
Absolutely.
People don't understand it. Really, it's nerve-wracking.
Yes, it is.
Because I've said desert when it clearly said dessert before.
Exactly.
It happens.
It happens.
Thank you once again. We appreciate it. I'm going to ask you to sit with me 10 more seconds
All right.
while I say goodbye, because finally this week we celebrated the life and the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. For our students who've only heard stories of Dr. King, it's important to keep his spirit, his legacy, and his vision alive. As we leave you today, our tribute to Dr. King as put together by T.J. James. We thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next month.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. No, we are not satisfied, and we will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over, and I've seen the promised land. They told us we wouldn't get here. There were those who said that we would get here only over their dead bodies. Well, but all the world today knows that we are here, and we are standing before the forces of power in the state of Alabama, saying we ain't gonna let nobody turn us around. Falls your lot to be a street sweeper. Set out to sweep streets like Michelangelo painted pictures. If you can't be a pine on the top of the hill, be a scrub in the valley, but be the best little scrub on the side of the reel. But I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
Thank you for joining us on your school channel, Cable 2.